Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Center for Fiction. My name is Melanie McNair. I'm the Senior Director of Public Programming here. How many of you are visiting us for the first time this evening? Well, you are very welcome. Please follow us on social media and sign up for our mailing list because we do a lot of really fun events and we don't want you to miss out. We're the only nonprofit organization that focuses on the creation and enjoyment of fiction. And we've got this amazing event space, and I've wanted to have Roz and Chast, Patricia here for a long time to use the screen to see their fun work. So I'm glad you're all here to see it tonight. A couple of housekeeping announcements. Our cafe and bar will be serving until 8:30, and drinks are welcome and encouraged. And we will have signed books for sale when we're finished here, and they'll both be personalizing afterwards as well. We will have an audience Q&A, and it's when it's time to go to the questions. If you're here, please raise your hand, and we'll bring a microphone to you. It's because we have people watching on the live stream as well, and they won't hear you unless you use the mic. And if you're watching on the live stream, you can type your question in the chat at any time. Now for our fabulous guests. Patricia Marx has been contributing to The New Yorker since 1989. She's a former writer for Saturday Night Live and Rugrats, and is the author of several books, including Let's Be Less Stupid, Him, Her, Him Again, The End of Him, and Starting from Happy. Marx was the first woman elected to the Harvard Lampoon. She's taught at Princeton, New York University, and Stony Brook University, and she is the recipient of a Guggenheim Fellowship. Joining her is Roz Chast. Roz grew up here in Brooklyn. Woo! Her cartoons began appearing in The New Yorker in 1978. Since then, she has published more than 1,000 cartoons in the magazine. She has written and illustrated many books, including What I Hate from A to Z, and the collections of her own cartoons, The Party After You Left and Theories of Everything. She's the editor of the Best American Comics in 2016 and the illustrator of Calvin Trillin's No Fair, No Fair, and Daniel Miniker's The African Svelte, all published in 2016. They've also done another book project that's not in either one of their bios, which they'll tell us about, I'm sure, but please welcome them to the stage.
Hello.
Hello. I don't know anybody, do you?
No, I think that's my fourth grade teacher.
This is our pub date.
Yes, it's true. It's very exciting.
We could have appeared at Yankee Stadium or the Coliseum or Center for Fiction. It was so easy, the decision.
Yes, this is true. We've known each other for many, many years. We've collaborated on many books.
Yeah.
In fact, the first book we collaborated on was a children's book called
Now Everybody Really Hates Me, and there were people who wouldn't buy it because it had hate in the title.
But it was
those children became criminals, and we met early in our careers back in the 1830s.
Yes, yes, when people were still writing, I think, on stones.
Yeah,
back then. Yeah, with like little burnt pieces of chicken, I think.
And I had my first thing published in the Atlantic, and Roz, you were starting out in your career.
I was starting. We did not know each other.
Nope. And the piece, and Roz illustrated this piece in the Atlantic, which was a humor piece called "How to Get Along with the Russians," which
still relevant.
Yeah, it's amazing. And the illustration was really great. And after the piece came out in the Atlantic, and keep in mind it was my first piece ever, my mother calls up and said, I saw the piece, I loved the illustration. You should call that person up.
So basically, Patty's mother set us up on a play date. And Patty did call me. And nobody ever called me before about an illustration, and nobody has called me since. It was very funny, but we didn't really become friends quite then.
No, and the first book, as Roz mentioned, Now Everybody Really Hates Me, was my first children's book. Was it your first children's book?
Yeah, it was. We had been at the same party.
Yeah, I was so pleased with myself for writing a children's book, like 27 words or whatever it was, that I had it with me. I carried it with me everywhere.
But it was such a great idea, because the story is really about this little girl who she hits her
Oh yeah.
All right.
No, she's decided she's going to stay in her room for the rest of her life
because she's punished. She hits her baby
She
brother.
hit her brother, but she says she didn't really hit him. She touched him hard.
Yes, exactly.
And she's going to stay in the room for the rest of her life unless they're having something good to eat that night, in which case it will be her last meal.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, I don't know if you thought about this, but the character in this book, which you're going to hear about soon, is kind of the same obnoxious, defiant.
Yeah, it's probably us.
It's maybe all entirely. And the review for that book, we got a lot of reviews, and the review I liked the best, and it was the review I think I've liked the best for any of my books. No message, no moral, no meaning.
Yeah, but it was so good, because you're sent to your room, and it's like just sort of saying, well, fine, I'll just stay here, and I will grow old here, and I will get married here. I will just like stay in my room. I'll live and the logic of it is maybe a little bit wonky, but it was. It sort of made sense when you're like really annoyed about.
I'll show the mentality when people are thinking,
yes,
nobody notices really, isn't it? But I had something else
we
to
did.
say.
Then there was a sequel, where she's
No,
made
I
to
will
stay
never
to
leave the
table.
dinner table.
And I'm going to stay here. I'm going to stay here forever. So yeah,
we did Meet My Staff, which was a dream. Like, who hasn't wanted somebody to do every little thing?
Oh,
and
yeah.
that was Meet My Staff.
Yes. And
So should we tell them about this book?
I
Or
think
should we keep it secret for the
why
rest of the night?
Why don't we? Should we show pictures?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to read you the whole thing.
Okay.
Which is like a children's book. I once was dating somebody, and I gave him my children's book, and he left me a message. Well, I read half the book, and I'm thinking, it takes 30. This is like, I started the haiku.
Yes. So, all right, you're gonna have to turn around because I have the.
I'm gonna stand here.
Okay. It's nighttime in Tired Town.
The spaghetti is so drained, it can't stand up straight.
The eyes are so fried they can't.
The eyes aren't.
Oh, the eggs. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. The eggs are so fried they can't keep their yolks open.
The popcorn is too pooped to pop.
And the butter I melted a long time ago, it says.
The buildings are so weary they're wobbling.
And they're talking, they're like, oh, I'm falling off my feet. Get ready for some nap drool. Dreamland, here I come.
May I just interrupt to say, speaking of Dreamland, Roz has another book out, like with a lot of words and a lot of pictures, and it's really great, and it's about dreaming, and it's called
I Must Be Dreaming.
I Must Be Dreaming, and it's really, really good.
And it comes out October 24th. But back to
this. The sun is so burned out, it's sinking in the sky. Now it's your turn to shine, says the sun to the moon before disappearing below the horizon.
But there is someone in Tired Town who is not tired at all. That would be Nellie B. Knightley.
Just so you know, I love Nellie B. Knightley's hair. My feet are wide awake, she says to the little yellow night table, which is so tuckered out it's flipped itself over to rest its legs.
My mouth hasn't finished talking, she says to Cheesy, her goldfish. Cheesy cannot talk, but if he could, he'd say, "Please keep quiet. I'm trying to take a nap on top of my castle."
Cheesy is our favorite character.
Yes.
You'll hear more about Cheesy. We don't know if we call it an it, I guess. We don't know. It's bi. We don't know.
Yeah. He's just a very cute little goldfish. But the funnest thing is just drawing all the details in her room.
Bye-bye, Nellie B. says to her bed, which is sleepwalking this way and that. Wham, whump, thump, crash, bang, and bump, the bed says when it hits the wall.
Did you hear a wham, whump, thump, crash, bang, and bump coming from Nellie B.'s room, says Nellie B. Knightley's mother. Impossible, says her father. Didn't she say good night hours ago? Just in case, let's take a peek, her mother says.
She tiptoes to Nellie B.'s door and opens it a smidge, careful not to wake her daughter.
And there's lots of signs on the door that you can see. She does like dogs, that is for sure. Nellie B. Knightley is jumping on the bed, yodeling the song she composed on her headboard. For goodness sake, I'm born to be awake.
Let's just talk for a second about, in a way, the inspiration of this. Roz and I don't like the morning.
No.
We like the night, and I always did. Did you?
I can't remember my childhood.
I didn't have a bedtime.
But before I had kids, I always avoided the morning part.
And I don't know if you know this, but a long, long time ago when there were like VCRs and things, a friend of mine and I did a cassette called Goodnight Baby, Baby Goodnight. And it was all these kids we know going to sleep, and there's a lullaby that a friend's brother composed. And we got really good reviews, and we'd sold it. And we had a fulfillment house that sold this very nice lullaby, basically video, of kids going to sleep. And it was meant for parents to buy for their kids who wouldn't go to sleep. They'd watch it before. And the fulfillment house made a little mistake. And they used this very nice little sleeve that said, "Good night, baby, baby, good night," with a baby sleeping. And inside was the cassette, "How to Tango."
That's great.
I know, and I always thought, parents would go, well, maybe it works in this counterintuitive way.
Yeah, well, we had something like that happen when my son Ian was a baby. A friend gave us one of those little things that you hang above the crib and you wind it up and it plays music. And I think it was supposed to play like Rockabye Baby or a baby song. And it played King of the Road.
Oh, how funny.
It was like, trailer for sailor, and
it's like the opposite is, I used to rollerblade everywhere for years and years and years. And I sometimes did it around the park. And my friend gave me what were they called? Mixtape or something like that?
Oh, yeah.
Tape, right? To listen to when I rollerbladed. And it was Leonard Cohen songs. And I remember thinking, I think I just stop here along the side of the road and rest myself. It's like
yes,
the worst.
That's not good. Yeah,
Right.
It'd be like, well, what's the point of this?
Back to Nellie B. Knightley.
Yeah.
Okay. Nellie B. Please go to sleep, her dad says for the umptillionth time that night.
But I went to sleep last night,
Says Nellie B. Knightley for the umptillionth time. Was that a yawn?
I did not yawn. I was stretching my jaw.
5 minutes to lights out, and this time we mean it.
Luckily, I have a flashlight, thinks Nellie B. There's so much to do. She must brush her teeth, with her hairbrush, of course, and persuade her doll, Naked Nancy, to put on pajamas. Now, I'll tell you this funny thing about Naked Nancy, that when I was doing the drawings for this, there was a little bit of controversy that perhaps Naked Nancy would be a little bit too much, and that she should be wearing some sort of like chemise or something. I'm not kidding. And I generally, take editorial suggestions pretty seriously, but this one I just said, I don't think so.
It would be good publicity for the book if Naked Nancy got canceled.
It's true. Or but then if I put something on her, it could be like not at all Naked Nancy.
The former Naked Nancy.
Yes.
Cheesy could use some improvements too. Perhaps a fancy night bonnet? Or a mustache? How about some lipstick and false eyelashes? Or at the very least, a tail tutu.
And how can Nellie B go to sleep without giving Cheesy a bubble bath? He insists on mozzarella scented, of course, and reading him a bedtime story, probably Goodnight Cheddar. But before that, Nellie B must teach Cheesy how to talk. Repeat after me, my name is Cheesy. And he's just like, but.
Good goldfish impersonation.
Weird mouth thing that fish do. What is that?
I don't know. Uh-oh. What if Naked Nancy needs to go you-know-what in the middle of the night? A walk away from the bed to bathroom is a must-have, decides Nellie B. In our first book, we also had the word naked, and that is a surefire way to get a laugh from an 8-year-old.
That's true. Well, when my first kid was about, I guess he was about 3 or 4, he went through a phase of, he just found the word but hilarious, and it was but, and he had a little trampoline, and he would jump on the trampoline and just go but, and finally, I was so sick of hearing this, I just said, okay, you've got 3 butt tickets, spend them wisely.
I forget what I was going to say. Oh, I know. One of our many ideas that we never did, I don't remember, it was an alphabet book of naughty words.
Oh, yeah.
We probably couldn't do that anymore.
No, that's true.
We could have the whole thing censored.
That's true. Just like black bars, it would be very easy to draw. Unlike this, which,
In case the walkway gets crowded, I must build a tunnel, she says to Cheesy.
No.
Go, you go.
Oh. No, I did not just close my eyes, she adds, closing her eyes again. I was practicing my slow blinking.
I don't hear any noise coming from Nellie B's room, says her mother. She must finally be in bed, said her father.
Not exactly. Nellie B is hanging her bed from the ceiling to make room for the swimming pool.
And growing a tropical rainforest near the window. Then she will build a ladder to the moon with toothpicks.
Because why not? Really. But first she lies down on her bed. I'm not sleeping, she says to Cheesy. I'm pretending to be a log. And there's games to play with your goldfish. That's one book on the floor. Easy Guide to Blockchains is another one. Remember blockchains? Yeah. I was thinking about them the other day and how popular they were for a while.
Meanwhile, Nellie B. Knightley's socks snuggle inside her shoes, which announce they are finished walking until tomorrow. Our work here is done.
The rug curls up and gets comfy.
The floor snores.
The books on the desk close themselves, and the characters inside close their eyes.
The blanket on the bed scooches up to kiss the pillow goodnight.
The moon rolls lazily onto its side.
And the lamp turns itself off. Click.
Nellie B. Knightley is asleep too. She is dreaming of a girl who is dreaming of a girl who is dreaming of a girl who is not tired at all. And the clock says, see you at sunrise. And the fish says, nighty night, sleep tight. And that's it.
Now, I don't know if it would... I don't know if it would be a compliment or an insult if all the audience was sleeping.
Yeah, we both have some sleep issues, I think. We were talking about that. And do you ever have insomnia?
Hate going to sleep. No, I don't have insomnia because my goal is not to go to sleep. I do not like to go to sleep. I was ruined by my mother, who told me when I was like in high school or something, there's no reason anyone has to sleep more than 4 hours.
Wow.
So she made me a little guilty about that. And also, it's so nice at night. It's like free time.
Yes, but then you don't get to dream.
I don't,
And you don't,
dream, I don't,
yeah.
I do dream, but it's so boring. It's like, should I go to the bank now or after lunch? Or it's just so boring, but it's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, no matter what time I go to sleep, I don't like getting up. So I might as well stay up. I might as well stay up.
Yeah, getting up is always horrible. It's just assaultive.
Yeah.
All that light. But dreaming, I do like dreaming. I like dreaming because your mind, you learn these like very strange things. And I write about this a little bit in my book, but you learn, like once in a dream, an interior decorator told me that, and I remembered it was such a great phrase that I wrote down when I woke up, that cushions were the juice of the house. Or I learned also in another dream that a little known slang word for a penis was a Sharon. I mean, you know, you don't have any idea.
But I don't remember my dream. Or I had that vague feeling that maybe it was good. I never had a nightmare, have you?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, yeah, I have, but I've liked them.
Oh, yes, afterwards I've liked them because they were so extraordinary and so vivid.
Yeah.
I think I like the act of dreaming, so that doesn't
You know what
bother
creeps me out? People who sleep and talk in their sleep.
Oh my God, that is so creepy.
It's so creepy.
It is very.
I like to believe I don't, and I think I'm right, but who knows?
I have, and I sometimes move around. I think the nightmare that I had, which I won't go into, my husband said that I was waving my arms around like a marionette, which is like...
That's creepy.
Yeah, it was very creepy. Yes.
Even creepier are people who sleepwalk.
Oh, that's, Mike Birbiglia, the comic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very, very
I don't
weird.
like that.
No.
It should be strapped down.
I think some people who sleepwalk are, because you could just.
Should we do a little intro?
Yeah.
To our next portion of the night, which was, probably you all know that Roz and I are really famous musicians.
Yeah.
Extremely.
Ukulele musicians.
Ukulele musicians. Yeah, we have a band called Ukulele Meltdown. And in our minds, we are legends.
Yes. Well, we started in the early 60s, and we were on Ed Sullivan.
Oh, and how? We played with the Beatles.
Yeah.
We started Bob Dylan's or Bobby Dylan's career, right?
Yes. We played at Woodstock, but we were facing the wrong way.
Yeah, we played Woodstock.
yeah, it was,
we
oh,
were on
yeah.
the moon.
Yes, they sent us to the moon.
First and only ukulele players on the moon.
Yes. They gave us our own rocket ship. It was very nice. And they had a driver.
And in reality, which we hate, reality.
Yes.
What happened was, I'm not going to play yet, but I'm going to show you this. I was invited to a wedding that coincided with it, what took place when the solar eclipse was happening. And so we got everybody invited. I'm wearing the wrong glasses and I really don't like that. I can't see so much. And everyone was invited to bring a musical instrument if they wanted, and we would serenade the couple over, there was a bridge, just take my word for it, and play Here Comes the Sun. So I'd rather be on stage than looking at the people on stage. I thought, I don't play any instrument, though I should be playing piano, given how much money my parents spent on lessons. And I thought, how hard could the ukulele be, really? And so I ordered one, and I ordered it, this beautiful, beautiful one, and I showed Roz, and who could resist a blue ukulele? The whole reason we play the ukulele is because of this color.
Yes, it's true. We're very turquoise-centric.
So then, because of the internet, anybody who has the internet and at least one hand, it turns out, can play the ukulele.
It's a very, as a friend put it, a ukulele is halfway between an actual instrument and a toy.
Yeah.
It's really simple. It's got 4 strings, and Patty, of course I had to copy, Patty said it costs about $50. It's very, very light.
You can store things in it?
Yeah. Yes, tissues, instead of sticking them up your sleeve like your grandmother, you just kind of put them in your cosmetics. You could use it as a cereal bowl, I suppose.
Yeah. And truly, we should be an advertisement for the ukulele. If we can play, anybody can play.
Yes, that's true.
We have a CD, nothing to put in it, but a CD case where we say we can teach you how to play ukulele in your sleep.
Yes, but but we made some movies about this.
Yeah.
Little short movies that I think you might be able to find on YouTube.
If you have YouTube.
If you have YouTube.
My mother called me. My mother wasn't exactly in touch with technology, and she called me many years ago when she was alive, and said, Nancy, her friend Nancy, Nancy says there's something on YouTube you should look at. It's this and this and this. I don't know if it's still on YouTube. I don't know if you're getting the concept here of YouTube.
Did she think it was like television?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what we do is we write songs. We rewrite public domain songs because public domain is our thing.
Yeah, it's our specialite.
And we wrote some for, should we make a table here? And put our things there?
Or we could just do a lap.
Okay, we could do a lap. And so we have songs for this book.
Yes. And as Patty once said, it's kind of like getting a shot at the doctor.
Yes, you'll feel a little discomfort, and then it will all be over.
Exactly.
All right?
Okay.
On your mark, this is called sleep. On your mark, get set, go.
Sleep, 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 I won't. Bedtime seems extreme. 1, 2, 3 a.m. My parents want to scream. Sleep, 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 I won't. It might as well be noon. Let's play and dance and jump around and shout good morning, moon.
All over.
All right.
Then we're bringing back cheesy.
Yes.
We love cheesy. Okay.
Yes.
On your mark, get set, go.
I am Cheesy the pet fish.
I talk English little-ish, swimming round this stupid bowl. Wish I'd meet a Dover sole, or a hunk of camembert, and a nice upholstered chair. The view is nil, the toys are old, but this place is rent controlled.
Okay.
We're tearing through these.
Oh yeah, we are.
Now
We
you
are.
might wonder what Cheesy does in his spare time
Yes.
when goldfishes have a lot of spare time.
That's kind of what they have.
So it turns out
Yeah.
a goldfish is no different than anybody else. So this is what Cheesy does.
Okay.
On your mark, get set, go. I've been working on my memoir all the livelong day. I've been working on my memoir, and I just turned 6 today.
My darling.
Want to hear how I am yelling? Rise up at 4:10 in the morning. Don't you know a single agent who'll help me toot my horn? Okay.
All right.
And we have one last. You might think, as somebody said to me, that's great harmony you're singing. I can't sing on tune, so I'm sorry. But Roz makes up for it. She can sing.
All right.
This is another animal we like. Okay.
Yes. Well, I don't know if you guys ever read, Patty wrote a really remarkable, wonderful piece in the New Yorker a couple of years ago about comfort animals. And didn't you bring, talk about that a little bit?
So, the New Yorker sometimes really times it right with the assignments. And just when, right before, when people were starting to get annoyed with all of the bizarre animals that had, emotional support badges, but you weren't quite sure what was going on, they assigned me to write about emotional support animals. And I decided, I'm not really an animal person. I'm not really a person who breaks the law or likes attention. We do like attention. But I decided I would take four animals. Wait, turtle, turkey, alpaca,
Pig.
Yeah, 4 animals, 5. And not at the same time, that it would be too much for me, and take them where they don't belong. Because the other thing about this topic then, this idea then, and probably still true, is nobody quite understood the law. The law is, if it's a service animal, which is not a comfort animal, it can go anywhere. It's like a medical expense. It's, it's
Legit.
Beyonce or something. Anywhere it wants to go, it can go. But emotional support animals, at least at that time, could only go to a couple places. They couldn't go to restaurants, and they needed notes, and they needed therapy. The owner needed a therapist letter. But if you didn't let a service animal in, you could get fined hundreds of thousands of dollars. If you erred on the other side and let me in with my snake or something, nothing would really happen. So I took a big turtle to get a manicure for a bar mitzvah, and to the Frick Museum that doesn't even allow
Children under 10.
children under 10. And they asked me how old the turtle was, and I kind of forgot about this 10. I said 7, and then I go, I mean in turtle years. And then we went to Frankie Campbell, and I said I wanted to prepay for the funeral of the turtle. And is that 34 seconds?
No.
Okay.
I think
No.
it's minutes.
Okay. So I wanted to prepay for the funeral of the turtle. And the funeral director, who was, I think, humoring me, said, that turtle's probably going to live longer than we are. And then I came up with, it has shell cancer. And he goes, oh, I'm sorry about that. And I looked really sad, but I was really trying not to laugh. And then I took
The alpaca.
no, the snake.
The snake.
I took a snake, and my book jacket picture from this book has a snake wrapped around my neck. And I took a snake to the movies, but we had to leave because it was too cold for the snake.
What did you see?
What?
What did you see? Snakes on a
We
plane?
didn't really see any. Yeah. And then we went to Chanel because I said I needed a pocketbook to match my reptile, and they showed me a python or something bag for $7,000, and they told me correctly that yellow would be a good color because it would bring out the yellow stripe. And then we went to a apartment showing, an open house for like a $10 million apartment. And I will say, when the apartment's $10 million, they'll look the other way. And then I took an alpaca, which I don't know if you've ever been with an alpaca. They could give a shit. Oh no, then I took a turkey on the Hampton bus. And that was I was a little nervous around that emotional support animal. And luckily I had a turkey handler, Hope. She was 10 years old, a turkey whisperer. She was the neighbor of the turkey. And I'm killing you. We went on that Hampton jitney, and the turkey's going like that. It's like a pillow fight. There's feathers all over. And the bus driver said, "You have insurance? You have insurance?" I go, "Yeah." "You have," and then he said, like, "What does he eat?" I go, "Oh, did he get his shots?" I go, "Yeah." And the whole time I'm just kind of like afraid that Jerky's going to go to the bathroom the whole time. And Hope's going, "It's okay," to the turkey. "It's okay. Come, it's okay, it's okay." And then I, of course, didn't have time to go all the way to Hampton because I had other appointments with the turkey. So I said, I got to leave. And I swear to God, that bus driver was more startled that I was paid for the whole trip and left than that I was there. And the other thing, the turkey and every animal, people would come up to me and they go, "Is it real?" And I'm thinking, what kind of a person fakes a turkey to make it look like a turkey's going on the jitney? And then we went to Katz's Deli to get a turkey sandwich. And that was a little stressful, so I was going to take it to yoga, but it was too stressed out, so I had to go home. And then I took this alpaca to Oleana, which is Frederick Church's historic home, and I didn't really want to take the alpaca there because alpacas kick and they do things and they go to the bathroom. And so, thank God, I go to get a ticket. Oh, first I'd gone to Amtrak to get a ticket to go to Niagara Falls with the alpaca. And I go, "Oh, we never had that before." And I had this therapist letter the whole time, which we just fudged. My boyfriend photoshopped it. Basically, I had one little phone session with a therapist about why I needed my pet snake with me to comfort me. And so we gave the Amtrak person, she goes, "Okay." So we get a ticket to Valley Forge, Niagara Falls, but I don't use it. And then we go to Oleana, and they go, we do not take animals. We don't let animals go to Oleana. There are 2,000 historic objects. And I'm thinking, thank God I'm denied access to this place. I don't really want to be on the front page of the Times for destroying a historic home. And then the person from Oleana comes like tearing down. They go, "We talked to Albany." Like they talk to the president in the White House. They go, "It's okay." So we go in. By the way, people were saying to me, "Is the reason you have an alpaca because you couldn't get a llama?" I'm like, no. No. And then we get in, and the handler had said, if the tail goes straight up, then it has to go to the bathroom. That's what happened as soon as we got in Oleana. So we go, we have to go to lunch. Anyway, that was basically it. So that's why this song. It's called Mary Had a Comfort Lamb.
Right.
On your mark, get set, go.
Mary had a comfort lamb, comfort lamb, comfort lamb. Mary had a comfort lamb who was a lunatic. And everyone who Mary met, everyone who Mary met, the lamb was sure to kick. She took the lamb to Spain one day, Spain one day, Spain one day. She took the lamb to Spain one day. It sat in seat 12B. It made the pilot curse and cry, curse and cry, curse and cry. It made the pilot curse and cry, and then it went wee wee. The lamb now has a comfort pig, comfort pig, comfort pig. The lamb now has a comfort pig plus PTSD.
I can't quite figure this thing out. Oh, I figured it out.
Oh, good.
I thought time was going backwards.
Oh, okay.
You got
Good.
it? You figured it out too?
Yes.
Okay, I
Yes.
never knew.
Okay.
We have 4 minutes. We sing this song?
Yes. Should we sing? This is a new song.
Yeah,
here.
so we don't really know how to play it.
Yeah, we don't. We're just gonna.
It's based on experiences that Roz and I have had, and probably you too. It goes slow, okay?
Okay.
Mournful and
Mournful
slow
and emotional.
plaintive,
Very,
emotional.
very. Okay.
It's called Somewhere I Lost My Cell Phone. On your mark, get set, go. Somewhere I lost my cell phone.
Not again. There's that time that I dropped it inside the Mets bullpen. Someday.
No, we did that wrong.
Oh, we did it wrong.
It's the
See?
chorus.
Okay, you're right.
Okay.
You're right.
Okay.
Someday I'll look behind the fridge or underneath the Brooklyn Bridge. Could be lost among a pile of rocks or stuck inside a bento box. It could be.
Might be. Okay. I've looked indoors and outdoors, sea and land. There's a call.
Wait! I found it! It's here in my hand. And now we won't subject you to any more of our
No.
singing,
Yes.
quote unquote.
We have 2 minutes. What should we talk about?
Well, we could just go to Q&A.
Let's go to Q&A.
Yeah.
Q. If you have Q, we have A.
And if you have A's, we have Q's.
Yeah, it could be Jeopardy.
Yeah. Does anyone have any questions?
Good.
Yeah. Oh.
So I was just wondering if your mother herself only slept for 4 hours per night, and what was she doing with all of her extra time?
She did. My mother used to call me at like 1 in the morning or 2 in the morning, and then she'd call me at 6 in the morning. She'd go, "What's new?" And I'm going, "What could possibly be new except for a dream?" I know that my brother, who is the youngest and lived alone as as an only child, would tell me, she's like, "We're rearranging the furniture." I mean, I don't know what she did.
You were my
I know
neighbor.
what she did. She worried. She'd worry about everything. Like, I came in when I was going to high school or something. I came in to get something in their room, and it was in the morning. And my mother, I figured it out. If you get a navy blue blazer we could pull everything together in your clothes. I don't know what she did. She nothing productive really. She thought of stuff thought of stuff she was didn't like about me, I think. She called me up once and she said, I was like in my 30s. She said, there are 4 reasons you disappoint me. No apartment, no boyfriend, no job. I can't remember the 4th, but I'll call you when I think of it.
Patty's mother was actually the source of inspiration for
Yes.
one of our books.
Yeah.
With the title of it was "Why don't you write your eulogy? Why don't you write my eulogy now so I can correct it?" And which she actually did say.
She did say, and when she
She
did
said
die, I thought, God, that would have been great. Like, here, my mother changed this. Any other questions? Any questions, Ross? You. Where were you born? No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just a comment. I love your boots.
Thank you. Thank you. I have a lot of good boots because I'm very, very superficial. These are from Zara.
Oh, my
love
goodness.
Zara.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow. Excellent. Thank you.
How do you collaborate? How do you do the pictures come first, the drawings come first, and then and then you write, or how does that work?
One of us will get an idea, and I'll write it, and then Roz will illustrate. But it's not quite as simple because Roz is a writer too, and I like to think I could have been an artist. Like I kind of am visual-ish. So it's a really great collaboration because I make suggestions and Roz makes suggestions and it kind of mushes up at the end, and that's how it happened. I don't think we've ever had a single disagreement.
No. We've had things where I think that,
We've punched each other.
yes, that's true. That's true. We've given each other the cold shoulder, the
Can
side
I say
eye.
something about the cold shoulder?
Yeah.
I got it once from my boyfriend. I thought, this is great. I thought, what? You're not punishing me. You're warning me here.
Yeah, it's a kind of unusual collaboration. I think we have very overlapping taste in what
Yeah.
works and what doesn't, and the kinds of things we like to write about and draw about. But I'll get like a rough manuscript and then just start blocking out like how it could be a book, and then there's some back and forth. There's usually a lot of back and forth. We probably, have generated like 1 million emails between
Yeah.
both of us. But that's, one of the wonderful things of the modern world. You don't have to be in the same physical space to collaborate, And and we can make suggestions to each other, I think. And that's another thing. I mean, I've done illustrations for people and illustrated other books, and it was more cut and dried. It was more like, here's the manuscript, and then I do the drawings, and then there's some back and forth with the editor sometimes. But with me and Patty, there's definitely this like Venn diagram-ish area in the middle where, I can comment on a word thing, and she can comment on a picture thing, and so far we haven't gotten like super huffy about, like suggestions. So.
How dare you?
I know.
And another great thing about collaborating in general, but I love collaborating with Roz, is I love Roz's illustrations, and I particularly love the color palette and everything about this. And if you collaborate with someone, you can brag without bragging, really, because I can this book looks so good. And I'm like, I can say that because I wasn't responsible.
And I feel like I can say, this is a really good book because I didn't write it.
Yeah.
So
it's
yes,
a
it's
kind
definitely
of a good way of bragging.
Yes, exactly. It makes it easier. But I really do like this book a lot.
We do like this book a lot.
Yeah.
Another question. Just as you mentioned, all the details in the drawing are so fascinating. And I'm just looking at the cover right now. What is that white thing at the foot of the bed?
The white thing.
You see the foot of the bed, there's like
There's a marker.
Oh, is that what that is? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And the brand is Marky Marker.
Okay.
It's a great, but I did think at first it might be drugs.
I thought it was a hypodermic needle.
Because it looks like those.
That's
But
exactly
later
what
in
I
the-
thought. I thought it was a
Oh
hypodermic
no!
needle.
Oh my God!
Sorry.
Yeah, it's funny that nobody ever caught that. Well, it's orange because, first of all, her hair, and then also she writes on her headboard later. So
True, yes.
This has nothing to do with our book, but it has something to do with drugs. I have a friend, and back in the 80s when his daughter was arrested, this is David.
Okay.
When his daughter was like 6 or something, he took her to this little hip cafe, Jeton, down in the village, and the girl's like 6, and the person who owned the cafe comes over, and trying to think how to tell this story and not ruin it. And my friend had this friend who used to think that crack vials were really pretty and collected them.
was this
So
candy?
unbeknownst to my friend, the little girl had taken one of the crack vials.
Oh, no.
She's alive, don't worry about that. But and so she's at this cafe with her father, and she has a little pocketbook. And the cafe owner says, "Well, that is a pretty little pocketbook. What do you keep in there?" And she goes, "I got crack." And my friend said, "There's no way of explaining that."
That's great. That's great. There was an artist in the 80s who I was going to ask you, there Candy Jernigan, I think, who died, but she made art with crack vials because there was a time where they were all over the sidewalk.
Yeah.
And I
And
remember
they were
that-
pretty.
They were, well, yeah, they were definitely eye-catching. I mean, when we first lived, we had our first kid, and we were still living in the city, and there were crack vials all over, and he was sort of fascinated by them. It was one of the reasons we did leave, though. At a certain age, kids just like to pick things
The
up. off
gateway
the
to
ground.
heroin for 3-year-olds.
Yeah, or
Anybody else?
We have time for one more question from our live stream, which is from Steve. Is your rapport in real life exactly like it is here on stage?
Yeah, we like to. Well, we have a stage at our house, and we like to sit on the stage.
yes.
And
Doesn't
I
every-
don't really talk unless there's like 20 people in the audience listening. It's not worth it.
Yeah, I sleep with one of these microphone deals, so just in case if I do talk in my sleep.
Yeah. No, in fact, we're really, really, really boring.
Very boring. Very, very boring. Just
No, we're not.
wander.
Yes, we are. No, we're-
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Well, thanks. Thank you.
So fun. Thank you both. And y'all go get some copies of the book and come back in here, and I'll bring them down and around, and you can get your books personalized. Thank you so much for coming.